wanted to come on and have a little talk because time is shifting. Energy is shifting, and it's not the same energy that we've ever experienced ever. So what I'm wanting to talk about is I was deciding at the beginning of this year, I will do this or I will do this other thing, change stuff up. And in one of the situations, I felt manipulating, like I was going to be the one to manipulate, so I could not bring myself to do it. So I went and got a Reiki session. I went and got to talk that through, was journaling, crying, all the things. So here's what I come up with. This is my own authentic belief system. I didn't watch anybody, nobody told me this. I downloaded the feeling of, if we do anything on our spiritual path to feel like we're manipulating or act as if, we're dropping the act as if shit and we're just being who we are. So I woke up spiritually. It doesn't mean I'm a spiritual goddess or a teacher or anything like that. It means I woke up spiritually, and this is my journey, and I share it with you. And all of my stuff on my YouTube is just stuff that I shared that I went through. All of the stuff is, I went through it. My personal self had a spiritual awakening, drove and found myself and got a divorce. All the shit I found all myself. So I get on here and I have hundreds, like 900 YouTube videos that tells you all about it. Yes, I've read books and different stuff like that. But right now, in what's going on in the world, how it's crazy. And I know if you're not spiritually awake, you're just like, oh, we're just going to do what everybody's doing. But I promise you, you're all going to be awake soon. That's why all this shit is coming out, is to say, wake up. This is what's going on in the world. You didn't know. I didn't know 15 years ago. Yeah, I woke up before a lot of people that I know, and I believe the reason I did is that I can show people the way, help people the way. Because when I woke up, I was scared and crying, and it was like, what the hell is this? Am I dying? I was seeing numbers. I was like, do you see it? Nobody would see it. I'm like, am I seeing things? Do I need to go to a hospital? And all of it is just me opening up my heart and receiving from God. Because I remember when I was going through my divorce, all I did was like, God, what's going on with my life? Like, my life went from married and taking care of kids and having houses and a business to, you have nothing. And I was like, I don't know who I am. So that's when I went on my journey to be like, I remember sitting in the bathroom and I said, who am I? I looked in the mirror and I said, who is this person? And it wasn't Jerica's mom and Skylar's mom and Gary's wife. It was me. Like, who am I? Without all that, without the house, without the kids, who am I? That's what a spiritual journey is. Who are you without anything else? It doesn't have anything to do with your kids. It doesn't have anything to do with your mom. It has nothing to do with anybody but you. Who are you and what are you wanting? And right now, what's going on in this world is, who are you? What do you want? It's all, and I know I get people say, well, you think it's all about you. Well, honey, if you could lose weight for me and shit for me and do my spiritual journey, you could have it. But unfortunately, I have to do it all. And that means the inner work and the crying and the looking at my life and looking at myself, looking at all the things. So people call me selfish when I say, oh, well, I have to take time for myself to do the inner work. But you have to do the inner work. Nobody's coming here to do it for you. You have to do it. The other day, I was like, I want to do this thing, but it feels like I'm manipulating people to do it. So I was like, I'm not doing that. Because deep down, I've even seen like business people that I have worked with that has been manipulating people to get money. People do it all the time. And my son even said, Mom, you just can't manipulate people. I don't want to. And if that means I have to be poor, I'm not poor, but what I'm saying is if I have to be, then I'd rather do that than to give somebody false hope about giving them money. Now, yes, I do sell shit. You can put a dress on, a purse on, some makeup, whatever, that I do sell that stuff. And so I don't feel manipulated about that. I've had that for years. I've had that way before my spiritual awakening, way before any of this shit that I knew. So I am just going to say to everybody, we're all waking up. All waking up means is you're being aware of what's going on in the world. And I've already known some of this stuff. Like, I didn't know some stuff, but a lot of the spiritual awakening stuff I knew. So like, if I get in a fight with somebody, my mom, my kids, whatever, I say, oh, okay, well, I think I better go home. And I'll say to myself, why am I fighting with them? Or what's going on with them? Is this about them? Is this about me? Because it could be about me, or it could be about them, and they need to seek help or whatever. But when you're arguing, no matter what energy you're in your argument, you're still in the argument. If I'm yelling at you and you're yelling at me, we're not solving a problem. But if I say, I'm going to step back, and then 2 hours later or a day later, whatever. That's why they always told us when we were younger, you know, if somebody's arguing, just step back. I can do it in seconds now. Like, okay, this is going to be a problem. Boom, hang up the phone, leave the house. And then people are like, well, you're running. You don't want to talk about it. You're not going to solve anything in the energy that you're fighting in. So if I'm going to come and punch you, and then me punching you back has not solved a damn thing. But if we get back and say, okay, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow, or we'll fight about this tomorrow when we're not fighting, but we're just like speaking, you can solve the problem in that kind of laid back, calm energy. Because I'll tell you what, the problem you're going to solve with fighting and punching each other is you're going to jail. And then now you got another big fucking problem. So I know people actually tell me, well, you're just running from the problem. I'm not running from the problem. I'm going to solve the problem. No problem. It's just I'm going to run from the drama and the fighting. And this is what we're used to. Oh my God, me too. When I was a kid, it was like, let's take it outside. Let's do all the things. We're not doing that anymore. We're saying, okay, how can I help you? How can I help me? And one of the biggest things I learned in my accident, because that was the first time I've ever lived by myself ever in my whole life is now. I have never lived by myself, and I'm 56. So when I had my accident and I was like, couldn't hardly walk, nobody came here. I was the only one to take care of myself. I literally was like, okay, you're okay. You know, if I would get anxious, I was actually loving and caring for myself. And we weren't taught that as children. We were taught, you know, take care of your mom, take care of your brothers, take care of your sisters. You know what? You are a human being. And a lot of the people that aren't awake are not going to take care of you, or they're going to say, well, you're being selfish. You're being a piece of shit. I even had people tell me, get up and just snap back like that. And I'm like, I'm taking my time. I took 4 months. I am in better shape mentally and physically than I was before the accident, because I took time to care about myself instead of pushing and, oh, I got to go work 10 jobs and I got to do all this. No, we're here to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves, to be with ourselves. And if somebody, I get it all the time. Somebody thinks I'm selfish. Just let it go. Just let it go. They don't understand that part of you. They don't understand that part of them. Or they would be like, yeah, honey, just take the time that you need. But what I really wanted to talk about is the energy that's going on right now in this world, and everybody's doing this, and even online. Like, I'm afraid to buy anything from anybody. I'm afraid to follow anybody as far as their teachings, because everybody's either manipulating or it's a lie. And I'm not saying everybody. There could be honest people, but because there's been so much manipulation and so much lying going on in the world, and we can't trust anybody, all of us, not just me, is like, who do we fucking trust? Does anybody agree with me? Because this is crazy. So I'm just taking my time to be by myself, learn by myself. not like I'm going to be with family and we're going traveling and stuff like that, but I'm just saying, be discernment on yourself. Like, even if somebody says, well, I think you should do this. No. If you do not feel like you should do it, don't do it. Even me, the other day, I was like, I just feel like if I do that, that's manipulation. Well, you should just do it anyway. Well, no, I don't want to do it. Well, you're just too kind. That's who I am. And there was somebody earlier online that said, I keep doing good stuff and I haven't got my reward. Well, I'll tell you what, I have tried to be almost all my life a good, kind person, a loving person, let me help you. But I've always been a little selfish to myself, and I'm getting the reward now that I'm older. I'm more peaceful, I'm more happy, I've got more abundance. I think it just comes when you're older. And also you're older and you become with peace of who you are. With, I'm not going to get any younger, so I have to become peace of who I am now, because I'm not going to be like, and I'm not going to go get a facelift and a boob lift and all that other bullshit. I don't need that to love myself. I just do. But looking at myself through the eyes of God, higher self, whoever you pray to, Buddha, because God loves us no matter what. And I believe that everything always works out for me because God is going to make it a way. Even if I have an accident, even if I hurt myself, even if the car broke down, all those things happen for a reason, and then it always comes out for good. Do you know, if your car broke down, would you get another car, or would God be like, just give her the piece of shit car and let it break down every week? No. Do you, you always get a better car. Your house breaks down. You always get a better house. That's how my experience has been. But also, and I wrote the book, believe. You have to believe. You truly have to believe it to receive it. I have family that believe they don't deserve, and because of that, they don't get. I believe I deserve, and I get some heat about this. Well, who do you think you are to deserve anything you want? A beach house, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And I said, why don't you deserve it? And that's a good question to ask yourself. If you don't have something that you think you deserve, like I deserve a man. Now, I'm not looking for a man. I am enjoying my life without a man. I was married for 26 years. I've walked beaches with men. I've done all the things. But right now, I'm just enjoying my own life. But if you are wanting a man, ask yourself, like, what do I want out of a man? And am I doing that? Say, I want a man that goes to the gym and does poetry and sends me flowers. And then you're just sitting on the couch eating hamburgers and you don't even write anything. You don't do poetry. You're not a match. You're not a match for that man. Like I'm a match for a man that goes to yard sales and sells shit on eBay or spirituality. And that's who I'm a match to. So that's who I would find. And that's who I'd want to find. Let's go to the flea markets. Let's find this stuff to sell. That's what I love to do. But if you want like somebody that goes to the gym and that's buffed up and you're not doing that, you're not a match to that person. Just like money. If you want somebody with lots of money but you're poor, then figure out how to bring in money, how to think of money mindset. Because money is about allowing. We received money. People in my family think they don't deserve it. I feel like I've always deserved it. This is just now I'm getting it. But and we're taught as children we're not worthy to deserve anything. And I'm like, what the hell? We deserve whatever. God did not say, I want you to be poor with a man that beats you and all the things. You guys know. God wants us to be abundant. It even says abundant, overflowing, full. Because here's the thing, if you overflow, and I'm not just talking about money, if you're overflowing with love, kindness, helping, that overflows to your neighbors, to your friends, to your family. So if you are, that's why when I get up in the morning, I literally get up and I do a meditation. I sit and I'm peaceful and I make sure that I'm okay. Like the day of my accident, I never forget this because I meditated that day. And when I went to the hospital, everybody was like, you're just so calm. And I believe it was because you have to calm your nervous system before I leave today and go out in the car and go to a place and somebody cusses me out and flips me off and all this shit. I need to be calm. Or if I get up and I'm like, okay, come on, world, I'm going to kick somebody's ass. Well, then you're not calm. You're getting ready to go out here and fight with people. And God says, yeah, let's give her something to fight about. Or me, I'm just going to be calm. I do my vibrational plate. I meditate. I journal every single day. Like, I don't miss a day anymore. And because of that, my life is peaceful. Sometimes it's too fucking peaceful. I hate to say that because I don't want to jinx it, but it's like, I'm allowed to just have peace. Because we have to get used to it. We're not used to having peace. We're not used to just having what we want. We are not used to it. That's why we have to calm down our nervous system and say, you're allowed to have peace. You're allowed to have love. You're allowed to have the job that you love. I've had to go through all this stuff. I've been through hell and back. But now I know that I deserve everything that I want in my life. But I've also had to allow myself to have it in my nervous system. Somebody that, you know, has an abusive husband all their life and that beats them and talks to them like a dog and everything else. And you don't know why. It's because what you see in your childhood. And then some guy comes up and gives you flowers and roses and all this stuff. And you're like, oh, it's almost like it's fake, or is it manipulation, or do you want something from me? Or because you're not used to it. But there's people out here that have relationships that are amazing, that gives them flowers and that does everything for them and that loves them. And they have to allow that to come in and be there. And that's what I've done. I have allowed myself to have money, to have whatever I want, to have peace. And people are saying, you're a piece of shit because you run away when there's fights. Amen. I am running to peace. My life is peaceful. People get mad at me because my life's, peaceful. And I'm like, but I'll tell you what, people love you if your life's peaceful. People love you if you're a piece of shit. It's just everybody's love, and that's how it is. But you have to allow, some of my family don't believe that they're allowed to have or receive, and then I believe that I'm allowed to receive. But I've had to do a lot of work on myself to do it, and to receive it. And then they think there's something wrong with me, because who do you think you are? And I'm like, come with me, and you can have everything, because you're supposed to think this way. You're not supposed to think you're a piece of shit. You're supposed to think that you can have anything you want. And the only person that's stopping you from having it is you. It's you. Yes, all within. Yes, it is. It's all within everything. Money, cars, houses, cell phone, everything. You can have everything you want if you can get your nervous system and love yourself enough to let yourself have it. And that's what I do. I'm like, there's stuff that I get and I'm like, oh God, I don't know. And I'm like sitting on my pillow, meditation pillow, or right here and say, I'm allowed to have this. I'm allowed to have the good in my life. I'm allowed to have the good because I'm used to being 26 years of a horrible marriage, beating and talking to each other like a piece of shit. My whole life before that was my mom fighting and her husband beating the hell out, and abuse and alcoholism and all this stuff. So that's what I'm used to. 99% of the world are used to the same thing I was. Now, I don't do that anymore. I don't have that anymore. And if it even comes, actually, I'm in a vibrational match to where it wouldn't even come to me. But I can recognize it like this. Somebody came somewhere, I'm not going to say where because somebody will know what I'm talking about. And I just said, no, that person cannot be around me. because I mean, in seconds, I could tell it was good, bad news. It was this, was that. And I didn't know nothing. I don't know nothing about them. I did not know anything about them. I just felt their vibration. When you know who you are and how you feel and the vibration, you know, you can tell when somebody comes in the room and you're like, oh yeah, girl, or oh my God, get the hell away from her, you know, you know. So I just was like, I can't do that. And the other person was like, oh no, he's fine, because they weren't connected. And not everybody's going to be connected to what you are anyway. You discernment on your own shit. I have so many people pushing against me and say, well, you should do this and you should do that, because that's what their belief system is for them. But that's not my belief system. So you do, and that's what's going on in this world right now. You have to be the discernment of your own self, not the gurus out there. Even the gurus was on the list, and I was like, shit. So I was like, that is crazy. But anyway, you have a relationship with you and God. It is real. It is all the vibrations, all the abundance, all everything. If you can get yourself in that kind of a state to do that, you don't need none of that shit. You don't need church. You don't need anything, because God and you are one. Just like you're a child of God, you're a child of your mother. You and your mother are one. And then sometimes you do stuff and you're like, oh my God, I'm like my mother. You and God are one. If he's healing shit, you can heal shit. If you believe you can. I believe I can. I believe I heal shit. Christmas morning, everybody came up here in my meditation room and was like, heal me. My whole entire family was up here getting healed, because they can do it and they believe it, and it does work. And that's what we believe. But whatever you believe for you, and that's what the point I'm trying to make over and over again in this video is, don't listen to anybody. Just listen to your heart. Ask yourself. The other day, I said, I want to do this and I want to do this. There was two different things, and I said, this way makes me feel good and I love doing this and I've done this forever. This one makes me feel manipulated, like I'm going to manipulate people. I said, no, that's not good for me. I can't go through my life knowing that I'm manipulating people. Even that some of the stuff I teach is not manipulation, but people believe it is. They do. Because a lot of the spirituality, like when I go and do my eBay for 25 years now, or I go into a consignment store, you're not asking me like, oh my God, are you sneaking around about your clothes and shit? No, but your spirituality, people question you. Well, who are you and who's that? And how did you get this? And who are you following? And yeah, it's all this big spiritual craziness. But if you stick to you and your God and your whatever you want to call it, you don't have to worry about nobody. And I say this every day, leave me alone. This is what I believe. And this is, I'm going to stick to it. And I have a big discernment on myself. I can literally listen to people have conversations and I won't even hear anything they say, because that's not my belief system. I don't. And I have so many family members that get pissed off at me because they want me to take their belief system on, and I'm not doing it. Like through COVID, I didn't get sick. I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe that I was going to get sick. I didn't even believe in the whole thing. So I just said, I'm not believing in that. And I didn't. My mom had the flu in the hospital. I went to the hospital and sat at her house the whole time she was ill and took care of her. Nothing. I believe that I don't get sick. Now, I'm not saying sometimes I get a cold or I don't feel good or a headache or whatever. I literally, if I get sick or feel like I'm getting sick, I'll be like, you are well. You are well. God said you're well. And I will literally get rid of or I'll meditate, I'll ground, I'll do all this stuff. But that's what I wanted to get on here and talk about this morning, because I'm like, I'm going to put this on YouTube if anybody wants to watch it, hear it, whatever. But right now, it's not follow somebody online. It's not, you don't know who to fucking follow. It's like, take yourself back to when we didn't have internet and like you did crochet or you freaking played in the yard, and go back to that stuff. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the earth. I'm going to start painting again, do the stuff that grounds me into my own being, because there is no other person in this world, even my kids, even my dog. I can't be them, but I can be me. And I love to paint, and I love to, ground. I love, even the warm days. I've already been sitting outside on the ground, even it's kind of cold, but I've been doing it. That's what I love. Walking on the beach, love that. Whenever I can do that, I'll be running there. But just the discernment that I am talking about is whatever feels good to you, whatever brings you joy. And don't follow these pieces of, God, you don't even the automated stuff that we have now, the AI shit. Some of the stuff is, I watched the interview and they're like, AI was taking pictures of them and putting stories to them, and they were saying, that ain't even true. Like this, they were in a live interview and saying, this shit is not even true. They're making this shit up. So right now, because of the AI just began and all this shit, I don't think we know exactly what is true or what is not. And then when the list came out and there's spiritual people on it, I was like, holy shit, I don't know what's going on. But you have your own spiritual practice yourself, with your own self. That's who it is. God, you, the universe, whatever. I've died 3 times. So I have came back to life and said, oh, is there somebody bigger than us? Absolutely. You wouldn't change my mind if you wanted to. But is there an energy? I feel it every freaking day. I feel it right now, like I'm buzzing all around my body. I talk to angels. I talk to my dead relatives. I can say stuff to people and they're like, where did that come from? I don't freaking know. It just comes through me. So I do have a big connection. But years ago, I didn't. When I had small children and a husband and I owned businesses and owned houses. I mean, I owned like 4 rentals. We had so much shit. I couldn't be spiritual if I wanted to. I don't think anybody could. There was just too much. And I remember the first time I started meditating, I said, I need peace. And God took it all away from me. I had nothing. Nothing from the house, nothing from the business, nothing from the marriage, nothing. It was wild. And honey, I was crying like a bitch. But the best thing ever happened to me, because now my life is amazing, peaceful, and from then it has been. It's like if you ask God for peace and your life falls apart, whatever is going away is meant to go away, because you're just keeping it on. It's not peaceful to you. Your husband's not peace. Your business wasn't peaceful. Apparently it wasn't, because I'm not doing it anymore. But anyway, you do you. And I'm not saying don't follow people if you want to, that's fine. I look at people, but be very, concerned and have discernment on what you follow and what they say and what you believe. You'll know if somebody says something resonates with you, you're like, oh, that sounds right. But if it doesn't, then you don't have to believe it. We get so many people that I talk to, well, this person said this person says that. And I said, okay, what do you feel when you say it? So Johnny said this, and then, okay, you speak it. Speak it to your own self. Speak the same exact words to you and ask yourself the question. And you'll feel in your body if it resonates with you. Because you can learn shit all day long. I can read every book in my house, and I can watch all the spiritual people in the world. But in the bottom is me. What do you believe? Do you believe that this is good for you? It could be not good for you right now. It could be good for you 10 years from now. You don't know, because the feeling right now is what you go with. And then just like me, I want to go to Florida. Everybody knows, that's my dream. I know it's coming. I don't know exactly when. I know it is. That's all I know. It's a trust. It's there's God, because I've been to Florida 100 times and I'm going there here soon. But I'm just saying, to live there, will I live there eventually? If I'm alive till I'm 90, yes, I'll just live there. But in my situation, what's going on in my life right now, I have to be discerning and say the best part for me right now is to be here. to what's going on in my family, what's going on in my surroundings, and be okay with it. Because I'll tell you what, once you're okay with where God puts you and you're okay with it, he'll put you where you want to be without you doing shit. It happens to me all the time. I'm like, blessing, 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 but I've had to let go, and I've had to cry, and I've had to journal and discernment, because letting go of your ego is one hard thing. It's the hardest thing you ever do, letting go of your ego, because your ego is the one that, oh my God, I want Florida, I want, $1 million, I want them this, I want that. That's all the ego, because God's just like, you're love. I love you no matter what. If you're here, there, if you're naked, if you have the best clothes in the world, if you're rich, if you're poor, I don't give a shit. So that's how you have to love yourself. I love myself where I'm at right now, and that's all that matters. And once you do, and you feel it, and you know it, anything that you ever want, I promise you will come. I do it, but I have to let go of it too. I'm like, oh my God, I want this so bad, I want this so bad. And then I'm like, no, just forget it. I don't want it anymore. Boom, I got this house in like 3 days. And I was literally on the floor crying because I didn't get this other house. I'm just being honest. And that's another thing. Be honest, be open. People love that. And that's what we want to see right now, is authentic people. We don't want to see, oh, you think you're this and you think they're that. No, just be who the fuck you are. Me, I cuss a lot. I'm actually from New York, and my whole family cusses, and we're all crazy. New York people, crazy people. Most that I know. Anyway, but we need to be who we are and not fake like we're not. Like, I don't get on here and say, oh, I'm in a prom dress, I'm here, I get on here and I say, this is me, this is what I'm going to do. You don't have to follow me, but I'm just thinking that maybe if I tell somebody that they should just follow themselves and not everybody out on the internet, that might be a good thing. That's my belief system. It doesn't have to be yours. You don't have to watch my videos, or you can go watch 900 of them on YouTube. But anyway, I love everybody that watches these, and just know that everything I put out here on any platform is some experience that I've had, and I'm like, I think this could help other people. Because a lot of people don't cry or don't do the shadow work, and then it's like, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't looked inside. You're looking outside of you to find somebody. You're looking outside of you for any of the answers. Should I get a pop? Should I wear this shirt? Should I wear this dress? You're calling your neighbor. Don't fucking call your neighbor. Pick out a shirt and wear it. And if somebody says something about it, I don't give a shit. I'm wearing this. It's holes, it's dirt, I love it. Just own your shit. Be who you are. That's what we're doing right now. We have to be. And if you see somebody that's not doing that, I would run. Because, honey, I have been around so many, and I've even talked to them on the phone, some spiritual teachers that I've connected with. And I said, girl, you took your eyelashes off and your hair on. I'm like, what the hell? Just be you. And you know what? They're being them now. They're being their authentic self. And they're actually getting clients. She was offering me to get clients with her, and I don't want to do that. I have my own personal clients and would have more, but I'm not going to have, like, she has like 23 people working for her. I don't want to do all that. My life is peaceful, kind of retirement mode, and that's how I want to stay. But if you guys have any questions, let me know, because, or you just want to talk. I love talking, apparently. I do all these videos. But I do it just to help people. I really do. Because some people are like, why are you doing this? I have a call on my heart to have experiences in my life and then put it out here and maybe help somebody. That's how life goes. I know a lot of people that's had an experience in their life, and I've been like, oh my God, I resonated with that. Then, I've learned that way too. We're all here to learn and teach. I'm just not a teacher. I'm here to learn from people that I feel that's authentic, because some weird shit's going on right now, but it has to. This stuff has to go on in the world right now for people that aren't awake to wake up. And then people that are awake to hold these people and say, because it's scary. It was scary to wake up. I even see people that are waking up right now that believe that they know what's going on and they just don't. But I just lean back and say, okay, if I'm here to help you, but even you're not going to be able to help everybody. And you're not going to even be able to help the person. You can just tell them, but don't have any expectations about it because it's whenever they're ready. And some people aren't going to wake up. Some people are going to go to heaven or whatever you want to call it, to the other side without waking up. And that's their journey. That's their journey. Some people was here to be alcoholics. That's their journey. Some people are supposed to be here rich as fuck. That's their journey. This is my journey. Whatever I'm doing here. And I believe that with all my heart. So just be your journey, be your authentic self. Don't watch a bunch of crazy people out there telling you what to do. And like I said, if you do want to do something they're doing, just ask yourself, do I really want to do this? And your body will tell you. If you're connected with your body will tell you. Your body will say, yep, no, You'll feel weird. Believe me, if I do something I'm not supposed to do, I'll end up freaking sick every single time. I'll be like, God, am I supposed to do this? And I'll attempt to go do it, and he'll have me in the bathroom shitting my brains out. I'm like, no, you're not going anywhere today. You're not going to, what was it, yesterday or the day before? I said, oh, I'm going to do this. I did none of it. It was like, whoa, okay, none of that happened because we're not in control. We're not. We believe we are. I'm going to do all this. No, we are not in control. Just go. Just go with the flow. Go with it and see if God leads you there. If it feels good, it's going to be good. If God stops you, you're stopped. Just go with it. Go with it. That's my journey. At first, when I woke up, I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to manifest this, and I would. But now it's like, okay, God, I want to manifest your will for me. I want to manifest the best thing for me. Because when I've stepped out of the way, on my spiritual, or not my beach house, when I stepped out of the way, he gave me something better. Then I stepped out again stepped out of the way. I just said, I'm stepping out of the way. Another beach house. Stepped out of the way, cried for like 2 days. Now something else is happening right now. I can't tell you, but something big's happening. And we're going to see. But it's synchronicities towards that. Even if it didn't happen, it's towards that. And so it's showing. God shows you the way. Or yourself, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it, guys. I better get off here, stop rambling. All right, I love you guys. Bye.